There is a silent war happening every single day of your life. And most people don't even know they're losing. It doesn't happen out there. It doesn't happen in the economy, in your job, in your circumstances, or in the opinions of others. It happens in the only place that has ever determined the fate of a human being, your mind. Because the truth is simple and it is brutal. Either you command your mind, or your mind commands you. There is no middle ground, no safe space, no neutral territory. And the tragedy is this. Most people wake up every morning already defeated. Not because they lack ability, not because they lack opportunity, but because they have surrendered control of their thoughts to fear, doubt, habit, and conditioning. They don't think. They react. They don't decide. They drift. They don't lead themselves. They follow patterns written by someone else. But history has never been shaped by those who drift. It has always been shaped by those who decided. Think about it. A man like Thomas Edison didn't stumble into invention. He commanded his mind to see light where there was darkness. Andrew Carnegie didn't inherit an empire. He built one by disciplining his thoughts around a single dominating vision. Henry Ford didn't ask for permission to change the world. He refused to let the limitations of others infect his thinking. They all understood something the average person refuses to accept. Your mind is not a passive tool. It is an active force. And if you do not take control of it, it will take control of you. Right now, as you listen to this, there are thoughts moving through your mind. Some are empowering, some are destructive. Some are whispers of greatness. Others are echoes of fear. And here is the defining question of your life. Which ones are you choosing to obey? Because every thought you accept becomes a command. Every belief you repeat becomes a structure. Every doubt you entertain becomes a chain. You don't become what you want. You become what you allow your mind to dwell in. So if your mind is filled with hesitation, you will hesitate. If your mind is filled with fear, you will shrink. If your mind is filled with excuses, you will stay exactly where you are. But if your mind is filled with purpose, with vision, with an unshakable belief in what is possible, then there is no force on earth that can stop you. This is where everything begins. Not with action, not with opportunity, not with luck, but with thought, because thought is the blueprint of reality. Every building was once an idea. Every empire was once a decision. Every transformation was once a moment where someone said, "I will no longer think the way I used to think." That is the moment everything changes. And yet, most people never reach it. They wait for motivation. They wait for clarity. They wait for confidence. But confidence does not come before command. It comes after. You must first decide that your mind belongs to you. Not to your past. Not to your failures. Not to the voices that told you what you couldn't do. To you. Because the moment you take ownership of your mind, you take ownership of your life. And that is where power begins. The first thing you must understand is that your mind has been trained, whether you realize it or not. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing beliefs from your environment, your family, your culture, your experiences. Some of those beliefs serve you. Most of them limit you. They tell you what is realistic. They tell you what is possible. They tell you where to stop. And if you never question them, they become invisible chains. That's why so many people live small lives. Not because they want to, but because they've been programmed to believe they should. But the greatest minds in history all shared one defining trait. They questioned everything. They refused to accept limitation as truth. They refused to let the thinking of the crowd dictate the direction of their life. They understood that belief is not something you inherit. It is something you choose. And if you don't choose it consciously, it will be chosen for you. Look at your life right now. Every result you have, your income, your relationships, your opportunities, is a reflection of your dominant thoughts, not your occasional thoughts, not your hopeful thoughts, your dominant thoughts, the ones you repeat, the ones you believe, the ones that guide your decisions when no one is watching. If you want to change your life, you don't start with your circumstances. You start with your thinking. You start by becoming aware of what is happening inside your mind. Because awareness is the first act of control. Most people are unconscious thinkers. They let thoughts come and go without question. They let emotions dictate decisions. They let fear speak louder than vision. But the moment you become aware, everything shifts. You begin to notice the patterns. You can have the strongest mindset in the world, but if you do not act, nothing changes. Action builds momentum. Action builds confidence. Action proves to your mind that you are serious. Every time you act in alignment with your vision, you strengthen your control. Every time you hesitate, you weaken it. This is why speed matters. Not reckless speed, but decisive speed. The ability to move when others are still thinking. Because while they are doubting, you are building. While they are hesitating, you are evolving. And over time, that difference becomes everything. Resilience is the final test. Because no matter how strong your mind becomes, you will face setbacks. You will face failure. You will face rejection. You will face moments where everything feels uncertain. This is where most people break. Not because they lack ability, but because they lose control of their thinking. They let failure define them. They let setbacks weaken their belief. They let temporary defeat become permanent identity. But those who command their minds see it differently. They see failure as feedback. They see setbacks as lessons. They see resistance as part of the process. They do not collapse. They adapt. Because they understand that success is not a straight line. It is a test of persistence. And persistence is nothing more than sustained control of your thoughts in the face of difficulty. At the deepest level, this is not about success. It is not about money or status or recognition. It is about freedom. The freedom to think for yourself. The freedom to choose your direction. The freedom to become who you were meant to be. Because when you command your mind, you are no longer a product of your environment. You become the creator of it. You are no longer reacting to life. You are shaping it. And that is the ultimate power. So the next time doubt enters your mind, stop. Recognize it. Question it. Replace it. The next time fear tries to control your actions, pause. Breathe. Decide anyway. The next time your past tries to define your future, reject it. You are not your past. You are your decisions. And your greatest decision will always be this: to command your mind, or to be ruled by it. Choose wisely, because your entire life depends on it.